1, 2, 3.
One hit near the Pentagon, or one that was supposedly seemed to be intended for the Pentagon. That's when I had a feeling of like, is this happening everywhere? Like,
yeah, right.
do they have these planned in all major cities, or like, you go, it starts becoming a Marvel movie or something in your imagination, because you don't have any, there's no precedent for it in your
Yeah.
in your thought process.
And way before like widespread internet or cell phones,
Oh, yeah.
Nobody had cell phones, so there wasn't like this stream of information like we would have today.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, one of the reasons we decided to stay here and record is because we were all in the same room already, and we were the people we were going to be talking to. So I think we just decided to stick around and record, because I don't really ever remember making the decision, but I know we were all just like, everybody was in agreement that we were going to stay and record.
Yeah. I don't remember a moment, you know what I mean? But I just remember feeling like it was all we could do.
Yeah, there was nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Back to our houses by ourselves and sit and watch TV all day, or, I think it was kind of comforting for me just to be in a place where we could just focus on something else for, a couple hours at a time. We'd take breaks and go back and watch TV and see what's going on, but being able to shut that off periodically throughout that day and think about something else, as hard as it was to really have anything else on your mind. I mean, I think I can't think of anything else that would have gotten my mind off of that.
Yeah, it was work needed to be done, and we were hitting it so hard that
Yeah, I mean, those days we were playing 5, 6, 7 nights a week, and
yeah.
I mean, we were in the studio with, a producer, and just kind of making demos to try and get songs to. Were we with Sugar Hill at that point, or was this before Sugar Hill?
No, this is before we had that deal. This is the demo to get the deal.
I was talking to Gavin about this. Gavin Larson, who mastered the record. These are demos. We made a record. It was just that's why Ray Kennedy says there are no demos.
Yeah.
There's the difference. I was telling Willie, some of these where I had to work really hard to get I had so much acoustic guitar, and the vocal, it was just his cue vocal.
Right.
So there's those, and then there's the ones where I had a clean vocal and a clean background, and one fiddle overdub, I think, but hardly anything. I mean, compared to the way we would make a record.
Yeah, well, the fiddle overdub could have been something that where I played mandolin on the first pass.
That's
or
what it
something.
was.
Yeah, I had to overdub that.
Yeah.
How many times did we play these songs prior to that session? Because we never played songs live until the album came out, right? So
Maybe a week of rehearsals or something.
Yeah.
But like you said, we never played stuff until it was on a record back then.
Rehearsals and sound checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember working up most of it on the fly. I mean, we were, I'd heard the songs, and some of them we'd worked on, and there were some of them that we hadn't really worked on at all.
Mick and I were listening to the first couple mixes you sent over, and Snowfall, there was no solo in it.
Yeah.
And we were like, and Mickey was like, wasn't there a lap steel on that? Because he had a copy of the demos and he listened to them back in the day, and I was like, maybe.
The long lost
And
lap steel.
I was about to text you. Like,
it was
there a
sitting
lap steel?
way
And you were
out
like, I
on
found
the
lap steel.
timeline. I don't know what happened with the transfer or whatever, but it was like sitting way out. I'm like, Willie, I found the long lost lap
And
steel.
as soon as you sent it over and I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was all came back.
It was in tune.
What I like about the whole demo, like all of the songs collectively, is just the simplicity. There's not a lot of stuff stacked on. It's just kind of like kind of the bare bones of the tunes. We didn't, like I said, didn't over rehearse or overdo them, and didn't have time or money to really overdub a bunch of stuff. So it's kind of like tried to get them as close as we could live, basically, and then tweaked little things here and there. But I love that.
the one for me was I forgot that you put banjo on Set Me Free.
Oh, it's so good.
And I was like, I think you were like, can you play banjo? And you just kind of like tinker around for a little bit, like get a little part down, like, yeah, I can play it.
Yeah, that's the only banjo track I've ever played. Yeah, I think we had a list of the ones that we kind of liked the most at that point, and then so maybe.
And then the ones if we get to them, great, kind of thing. Yeah, that guy. I love that though, because that's us 20 years ago. Like just banging it out and speeding up maybe a little bit or whatever, just the excitement of it. You know, to me, it's a lot of fun. I hope people kind of get kicked out of it.
Well, that's the one that has the bluesy little outro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we can't just play like a high school Foo Fighters kind of rock and roll ass. We gotta transition to a little blues thing before we get out of there.
That's the self-indulgent part. We were younger.
Well, and then there's Me and Baby. Like, I totally forgot about that song.
I dig that.
It's super simple, just like a rock and roll song, but it's a pretty cool tune.
I think that one might end up on a real record someday.
I love it. The vocal, your vocal on that is it's just killer. You're like right at the edge of like you're just pushing the whole time. It's really a cool vocal.
Might be the end of the night too.
I can't believe how much fat we trimmed off of Desolation Angels.
I know.
I mean, I can't.
What
it
were
was
we-
like
what were we
6.5. It's
thinking?
like, there's a turnaround every single time there's a chance for one.
Yeah.
And then we throw a solo at the end.
Dave,
you know, like,
play
let's solo
4
it out.
acoustic solos, and Cody, play 4 fiddle solos, whatever it was.
And then like Wicked Twisted Road to me sounds like that was like the last one because my voice is kind of shot. And I think that might have been like the last thing we recorded, maybe. I don't know. But it sounds late. You know, it's like we laid that down at like 2 a.m. or something.
Amazing how much we pegged that first time through, you know, like some of the solo licks and the, you know, different things that had made it onto the other records that became, you know, something we played every single night.
Right.
And how many of those songs that ended up, you know, becoming really like fan favorites and songs that we do play, you know, every single night, you know, that one batch of tunes is probably on 90% of our set lists every single night.
Yeah, I found footage from Milliken, like of us in here recording Milliken.
It was funny just walking through the building before they came in and really
Oh,
redid
that's
everything.
cool.
'Cause that whole back room wasn't even, it was just storage. Like
Yeah.
we never even used that. It was just this front room.
The back lounge area had a pool table, and it was more of just like a, you know, lounge, and it had the TV that we watched everything on with the dial, you know.
Yep.
And
20
but
years,
yeah,
all that changed.
this room hasn't changed a bit other than the board, but yeah, it was funny.